So one thing I want to mention is in this video, I indicated that I received, the first copy I received was open and punched and basically used. And this was a new one that I received from Amazon to replace it. And I want to clarify and make sure that everybody understands that I went to the Amazon site. I indicated that the game that I got, or the product that I got, was previously opened. They immediately shipped out a different product. I got this product the next day. So today I got it. Yesterday I complained, well, through their automated site. Got this product today, completely sealed. It was shrink wrapped and no problems. So I'm just going to return the other one to Staples, is where I'm going to go, and send it back to Amazon. But I just want to make sure everybody knows that Amazon did good on its promise to handle the exchange of this. Hey, hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a quick unboxing of Imperium Horizons. And interestingly enough, this is going to be replacing another game that I have, which is Imperium Horizons. That's right. I ordered this game from Amazon for full Amazon price. This wasn't a used game, and this came completely open, completely punched. Now, okay, fine, yeah, I went through everything and I checked, and you know what? All the components were there. I was upset to the fact that they sent me a used game for a new price. And what really made me return it and ask for another one is the fact that several of the cards were damaged, and also because there's a bunch of and you'll see when I do the other unboxing. Hopefully it's better because this is shrink wrap. The new one is shrink wrap. This was not. There are a bunch of cards that are used by the bot. There are reference cards that look they're like small versions of this, which are just instructions on how to use something, how to use. There we are. It's instructions on how to use the bot, right? And these are kind of I printed them myself from designs from online designs from Board Game Geek. So, but it came with these cards, and the cards were jammed into the wrong slot and bent. So, I'd have no problem with games that are gently and lightly used, not at a new price, and definitely if the components are damaged, definitely not at full price. That's for a fact. So today we're going to go through and check this to make sure that it's correct. That is right. So let me grab my opening utensil. And before I go too far, let's take a look at what this is for people who are unfamiliar with Horizons, or I'm sorry, Imperium. Imperium is a card management. It's not really a card collecting game of any kind. It's basically you have these cards that you get for different civilizations, and they represent actions and things that you can do in a civilization. And the idea is that you go through a specific civilization to try to get to the point of, from being a barbaric society to a civilized society. And you don't really necessarily fight other people, though you can. It's mostly about you trying to trying to achieve it without your citizens uprising and basically destroying you before you can get the good number of victory points. But anyhow, so Imperium is just just a kind of a card management. It's not a tableau builder, but it's uh, a card hand management type thing where you are just grabbing civilized cards, and as it mentions here, um, you will compete to become the most dominant empire in the world. Standalone game contains a diverse range of new civilizations, each offering a unique style of play as well as presenting a challenging solo opponent, which is one of the reasons why I got this. The solo is exceptional on these games. There's two other games in this list or in this series as well. But all right, so let's go ahead and just open it up here so we can take a look. Again, this one at least has shrink wrap, so I know that it's new, unless somebody used a shrink wrap machine on an old one. Should not happen. All right, so that should be plenty. There we are. Now, the one that I got from Amazon, one of the problems that you have is whenever you punch it, there's punch boards on top that help keep everything in, keep it flush with this top. When the punch boards are gone and the cardboard thrown out, then you have a space, a gap. And so this is, I mean, you can't really tell, but it's flush with the top. With the one that I am returning, it was obviously down because of this. All of these punch boards were missing because they were punched. Anyways, so let's go over what this is. So we have 3 punch boards here. One thing nice about this is it has like a texture on it, a linen finish. I mean, it's not real linen, of course. It's just pressed that way, and they're really nice. You could probably see some on the reflection, kind of hatched already. That's a nice texture. So you have some of these components. These are population materials. They're supposed to be like brick. These are they're not victory points, but they're advancement. I forget what they're referred to as. Basically, you use them to advance, and this is I think these are used for trade. Yeah. Anyways, there's just a series of that. We have our this separates the market from a draw deck of tiles, and I guess these are. I'm not familiar with these. Probably for the different players, I guess. This is the solstice, the eclipse solstice marker. All right, so we have more of the components as well, and these are for a different faction of characters. One thing that's nice that this system has done is the old system. Let me see if I can find one. Yeah, here this is an old version of that. That represents 10. So if you look at this here, that represents 10 because you have the 10 little dots. Well, I mean, you could tell that it's 10 because 5 only has the top one and not the bottom. But still, it's nice to have the number 10 on it. A little easier to grasp right off. And the same thing with the markets. The markets have only they need to also have 10 as well. So all right. So nothing really to check. They're all pretty much just variations of the same thing on these punch boards. This is the heart of the game. Okay, you can already tell that some of these cards have shifted during transport, and but they're not damaged, thank God. Some of them are not. They've not made it out of. It's been removed out of their container. Not that it matters, but here's the thing. The other one that I had was worse because it didn't have the punch boards to help push down. But the cards in here were damaged. This thing is what I was referring to, as these are bot cards. And whoever put the other one away, they stuck it in here and bent it, even though there's a spot for it. Don't ask me. They obviously didn't know what they were getting into. So it looks like they've shifted during transport, but they don't look too bad. I don't see any damaged corners or anything. Thank God. All right. So let's take a look at what some of these cards are. If you're familiar with any of the games, of these of this series, you will probably not really. These are going to be a variation of the same theme, but let's go ahead and take a look at something here. I don't want to take the cultists. Let's take something normal, fairly normal, that I'm aware of, that I know. What is this? All right, so this is, I don't know, the Magyars. Kind of cool. Like, if you like the artwork here, it's a guy on a horse with a hawk. But these are all the cards that go along with it. The artwork is really great. I love the fact, how this artwork is presented here. The thing with these cards though is, as you can see, they're kind of shiny. They're not linen finish like the punch board, unfortunately. They're not. They're kind of flimsy, but they're not too flimsy. But I would feel the edges would get ruined if I tried to really, shuffle these. It would. I think it would end up really kind of ruining the edges. So I don't do it. All right. Let's take a look at a few of the other things here. We have just these are new. These are new. These are the bot cards. And so when a bot is playing and an action occurs, a trigger occurs, you can see that it's nice because if I get a trigger of this fire, then you know that I'm going to return this card to the unrest. Blah blah blah. That's how this Carthaginians do the bot works, and there's one for every single civilization. And this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to get the Imperium collection anyways. And so these, as you can tell, these are instructions on how to run the bot. So if I get this specific event that occurs, like in this case it's like a fire for unrest, it tells what you need to do to manage the bot. So it's pretty straightforward. Depending upon the situation that you run into, the bot will manage it. And this is if they are on not the civilized side versus the uncivilized side. So, anyways, these are all for the base games. The Carthaginians, the Celts, Greeks, so on. These are all for the either the Imperium Classics or Legends. And then we have the other 16 plus civilizations that come in here as well. So this game also introduces trade routes, which I have not played with, but these are the cards that go along with the trade routes, which seems like a really neat aspect. And these are just some updated cards. These replace cards that are in the older systems with updated cards because of the trade routes and such. So, and also I think it fixes some balancing issues. Interestingly enough, it comes with a dice, and in the spirit of the other things, it's numbered. Since it's a 6-sided die, this could never be mistaken for a 9. It's always a 6. So no need for an underscore. Anyways, one last thing to point out is this rule book. Wow, look at the size of this rule book, right? It's huge. It's like 12 by 12. That's the size of the box. And so it has all of the main rules. This updated rule book is what the designers and the Automa designer recommends that you use, even with the older ones. That shows how crazy these rules can be, because there's so much. I mean, you can look. I mean, there's so much to understand about, like, all of the iconography that goes on here, the definitions of what happens for certain things. Like if you see something, one of the let me see if I can even find it here. So here's some card specific notes that if you have something like, put a card in your history. What is your history? Well, it doesn't tell you right off unless you go back to this area, and it mentions that the cards in the history are basically things that go underneath your power card, and you can find power card. What is garrisoning card. So the definitions are all here, but there's a lot to know in this game just from a vernacular point of view. The definitions are crazy. But anyways, so that's everything. I'm going to actually punch it. I'm not going to return this one because this is actually in good working order. But that's it. That's it. That's Imperium Horizons. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing, and as usual, please like, and if you like this content, please subscribe. Appreciate it. All right, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.